In today's video, I want to run you guys through updates on a variety of new PlayStation 4 games. Black Desert is finally coming to the PlayStation 4 in 2019. That's been on Xbox One and PC for quite a while, and it's been one of the more noteworthy MMORPGs. At the very least, you do have to commend it for its technical achievements. It's a brilliant game visually, and it does offer a lot of content as well, so we'll talk a little bit about that. Contra Rogue Corps was announced for the PlayStation 4. That was announced as a part of Nintendo's Direct. That is due out September 24th. I'll give you guys the rundown on that. Paradox Interactive and Romero Games have also announced Empire of Sin for the PS4, and that's due out spring of 2020. First up, let's talk Black Desert Online. This is a game that we had an idea was coming to the PlayStation 4. However, for a while, it was relegated to PC and Xbox One. We were left on the side, unable to play it, but it looks like that is finally changing, as Black Desert is coming to PlayStation 4 in 2019 in North America, Europe, Japan, and South Korea, and that was announced directly from developer Pearl Abyss. Pre-orders will be opening up on July 2nd and include early access to the full game and in-game rewards. Now, I believe the game was released at $9.99 on the Xbox One and PC, and it regularly goes on sale. I believe on Xbox One it's even a part of their Game Pass program, so I would not be all too surprised if at some point down the line Black Desert does end up as some sort of PlayStation Plus offering, or it gets included in PlayStation Now. I could very well see something like that happening. It was noted by Pearl Abyss, quote, "Our team has been working diligently to make Black Desert the best that it can be, and we're finally ready to reward our patient player base." If you've been looking for an open-world action MMORPG on the PlayStation 4 with deep personalization to fit your gameplay experience, we encourage you to pre-order this July. The PlayStation 4 version of Black Desert includes a remastered graphics and audio, an optimized user interface created for console experiences, and 4K resolution support on the PlayStation 4 Pro. In addition to the PS4 version of the game, Pearl Abyss has also announced that Black Desert Mobile will launch globally in 2019 for iOS and Android devices. That's currently available in South Korea, Japan, and Taiwan. The game is already available on X1 and PC, and if you couple in the mobile player base as well, it currently has over 20 million registered users worldwide, so that is an astronomically high number, and they do have a trailer for the PlayStation 4 version as well, just a teaser trailer, but nonetheless, you can check that out if you're so interested. The game itself is a sandbox living world MMORPG experience, fast-paced, action-packed combat, hunt monsters and huge bosses, fight with friends in a guild to siege nodes and conquer castles, train your life skills such as fishing, trading, crafting, cooking, and much more. The PC version has had a little bit of a mixed reception, but at the very least, from a visual standpoint, this is one of the best looking MMORPGs you're gonna come across, and stylistically, when you just look at the game at face value, it's hard not to be captivated by the game, at least to a decent extent. Throughout the game, you're gonna enjoy jaw-dropping graphics, intuitive skill-based combat, and an immersive story encased in an expansive world that's just waiting to be explored. Accompanied by a black spirit, a companion whose destiny is intertwined with their own, players will discover the secret of the Black Stones and the history of their corrupting effects. The game features a variety of different classes, a bunch of different features. Maybe sometime down the line we will do an entire video on Black Desert Online as we get closer and closer to the release, but if you're a fan of MMORPGs, again, a pretty easy investment here where it is going to be $9.99. They do have a variety of different packages available if you want to buy it on other platforms. There's Black Desert Online, which the base game is $9.99. There's the Travelers package, which is $29.99. And then there's the Explorers package for $49.99. All of those will include a variety of different in-game items. But pre-ordering the game will give you access into the full game, and you'll get earlier access as well, so that's pretty cool. We don't have an official release date for it, but pre-orders will be opening up on July 2nd. Alright, next up, another title that has been announced from Konami. This one is Contra Rogue Corps, a twin-stick third-person action shooter in the Contra series, due out for PlayStation 4 on September 24th in Americas and Asia, and September 26th in Europe and Japan, and it'll be priced relatively well at $39.99. Contra Rogue Corps is a twin-stick third-person action game drawing upon its roots in fast and focused combat. From the director of Contra 3 and Contra Hardcore, Nobuya Nakazato instills more than 25 years of franchise pedigree into Contra Rogue Corps with an enormous crazed enemies, over-the-top violence, and a cast of diverse playable characters that add to the irreverent tone of the game. The game is set several years after the events of the Alien Wars. Contra Rogue Corps follows a former military group living on the fringes as bounty hunters and treasure finders in the Damned City. Survival requires fast reactions, powerful weapons, and the occasional organ and cybernetic augmentations. Players will complete missions in PvE campaigns, gathering resources to upgrade their guns, stay alive in the Damned City. If all else fails, bring in a friend online and mow down enemies together in an online multiplayer mode. Kind of interesting at the very least that Konami is going back and releasing a brand new game in one of their most iconic franchises. I didn't know if Konami was ever going to get really serious in creating more compelling games after everything that happened with Metal Gear Solid 5. Of course, they did do Metal Gear Survive. That was a little bit bit of a train wreck to say the least. But now we have a brand new Contra game in Contra Rogue Core. I have to remain a little bit skeptical, but I'm hoping for the best, and considering the game is priced accordingly at $39.99, I'm hoping that it turns out rather well. I think if this was a full price $59.99 game, okay, that wouldn't have done all too well. But at $40, this could be a pretty compelling game, and a lot of information about the game has already been revealed, given that we're only a little over 3 months away from the official release. We know that there's going to be PvE, deep single-player story campaign mode chock full of challenging missions among hordes of enemies. You can go solo or group up with 4 friends or random players online in multiplayer. PvP, you can create custom matches, private mode for 1 vs 1, 2v2, 3v3, 4v4, or 1 vs 4. And there is also local couch co-op modes with up to 4 players on all platforms, so that's an awesome inclusion as well. Given that a lot of games are foregoing on local co-op play, I'm always appreciative when I see a game, especially one such as Contra, include that as a feature. It was also noted about the playable characters. You've got Kaiser, a soldier from the Alien Wars, rebuilt after receiving massive injuries. Now he has a massive arm that transforms into a drill. You have Miss Harikiri, a famed assassin specializing in stealth and infiltration. After barely escaping death during the Alien Wars, she fused together with an alien now taking residence in her midsection. You've got the Hungry Beast, once the noted human scientist Kurt Steiner. He had his brain inserted into a giant cyborg panda and now spends most of his time looking for delicious snacks. And you've got the Gentleman, brain bug alien raised by humans, feels the rest of the team are ill-mannered and vulgar, especially the panda, argues over table manners, and the neatest and most efficient way to dispatch an enemy. So as you can see from the characters available to play as, very varied and very quirky in terms of how they act and how they behave, but that just creates an overall more compelling game. As far as game modes go, you've got the campaign mode, you've got couch co-op, and you've got online PvP, and gearing and looting up is a big part of the game, and it's all earned in-game with 0 microtransactions. That has to be thrown out over and over again, given that it is Konami, given that you guys might have been a little fearful from that standpoint, but Contra Rogue Core will feature 0 microtransactions, and you'll get enemies from enemies after clearing a mission depending on your score, and from the black market with in-game currency, and from salvaging parts and research. So again, Contra Rogue Core will be due out on the PlayStation 4 September 24th. And lastly, I do want to go over Paradox Interactive and Romero Games' brand new Empire of Sin. That's coming to the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC, and that's due out in spring 2020. Empire of Sin is noted to be a strategy game from Romero Games and Paradox that puts you at the heart of the ruthless criminal underworld of 1920s Prohibition-era Chicago. It's up to you to hustle, charm, and intimidate your way to the top of the pile and do whatever it takes to stay there. It's a character-driven, noir-inspired game that puts players smack dab in the glitz and glamour of the roaring 20s, letting them thrive in the gritty underbelly of organized crime. Throughout the game, you'll build a crime empire, raise your criminal empire from the ground up in several speedy enterprises, be it speakeasies, union skimming, or casinos, and building a team of loyal mobsters to make your mark on the streets. Once you make a name for yourself, expand your influence by taking over rival territory and adding more ventures to your repertoire. You'll defend and expand territory if it comes to blows and your posse needs to send a message. Face off in brutal turn-based combat, recruit your goons strategically to build a strong chemistry with your crew to maximize combat damage, and help secure your hold on the city. And you'll explore a living, breathing city in the 1920s Chicago. It's said to be very vibrant, and you'll interact with a full cast of living, breathing characters, each with lives of their own that inform how they react to what you do or don't do, schmooze, coerce, seduce, threaten, or kill them to get your way. I know strategy games on the PlayStation 4 typically don't go hand in hand, and Paradox Interactive and Romero aren't standouts to PlayStation 4 games. However, Paradox have put out a couple of compelling titles on the PS4, and Empire of Sin is pretty interesting in terms of design. I like the 1920s setting, and we'll see how it turns out in early 2020, but that early 2020 period, man, I don't know if it's good to be releasing a new IP, a more unknown game like Empire of Sin around that time period, because early 2020 is looking absolutely crazy in terms of new game releases. I think this is the kind of game that would be better off for a summer release, but hey, it seems like I always say stuff like that and releasing games during a time period where there aren't a ton of games being released, but that always falls on deaf ears. I know that they can't make all of the decisions. They gotta get the game out when they need to get it out, but nonetheless, that early 2020 period is just looking absolutely packed with games like FF7 Remake, Cyberpunk 2077, Watch Dogs Legion, and I can go on and on. But nonetheless, Empire of Sin looks to be a quality title that you should have your eyes on. And that's gonna conclude this video. Again, it looks like Black Desert will be headed to the PlayStation 4 this year in 2019. Pre-orders will be opening up on July 2nd. And it'll be including early access to the full game and some sort of in-game rewards. That wasn't specified as to what that'll be, but nonetheless, that is coming to the PlayStation 4. Contra Rogue Core is headed to the PS4 on September 24th, And Paradox Interactive and Romero Games are bringing Empire of Sin to PS4 in spring of 2020. That's gonna conclude this video. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.